Vocalise Mouthpieces for you today. It's actually Backun and Hawkins Vocalise Mouthpieces. So Backun has teamed up with Richard Hawkins, who's a very famous mouthpiece maker, and Backun on their own is an excellent mouthpiece maker too. So the two of them together have created some wonderful mouthpieces. I play on a Vocalise on my B-flat clarinet, and I'm excited to try some on my bass clarinet. For those of you that have come to my live streams on Instagram and Facebook this week, I was playing these mouthpieces with Ligature European cut reeds. Today I'm going to go ahead and go back to my old favorite, the D'Addario Reserve Classic. And I'm going to try this mouthpiece or these mouthpieces with cane reeds, which I'm very, very excited about. I have to put my glasses back on, otherwise I can't read anything. So thank you very much. We have some Backun reps here. So we have Tim Matthias from Eastman, and maybe some other people from Backun will drop by. Please ask questions. Ask plenty of questions. They're here for you to answer. I will try and answer your questions as they pop up. So let's start. I have my bass clarinet here and it is ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and take off my mouthpiece that I was playing on. I normally play on a Selmer C-Star. And I am going to play one of the Backun Vocalise Mouthpieces, Backun Hawkins Vocalise Mouthpieces. And I am just going to go ahead and open the box. It'll be like Clarinet Christmas, and we'll see what's in there. It is actually not a box, it is a tube. I love this packaging because it's so unique, and it's a recyclable plastic container. So if you don't want to save it and use it for something else, you can recycle this bad boy. All right, the mouthpiece itself comes in this beautiful velvet pouch right here. And I'll go ahead and open that up for you and take the mouthpiece out and let you see it. So this is the CG. So this is, so help me out here, Tim. This material here is like a secret Backun, Eastman, Hawkins material right there, but it's beautiful and clear. It actually has a little bit of condensation in there because I was cheating earlier today and I was playing on it before I got to you guys because I like it so much. Also, these mouthpieces do come with a mouthpiece patch for you to use when you try the mouthpiece. When you end up picking one of them, you're going to want to go ahead and upgrade that mouthpiece patch, unless you really like a thin mouthpiece patch on there. But you're going to want to use that mouthpiece patch when you are trying mouthpieces so that you don't scratch the top with your teeth. So you don't want to be doing any damage, especially if you're not going to be keeping that mouthpiece. You want to return it in as pristine condition as it came to you for you to try. So this is the Backun Hawkins CG mouthpiece. I love a clear mouthpiece, so I'm pretty excited about this one. And I am going to use a brand new cane reed. So this is a D'Addario Reserve, and I am going to use a 2.5 reed. I normally use a 3 reed when I play bass, but one of the things that I noticed this week when I was playing these mouthpieces is that actually using a 3 reed on this mouthpiece was a little bit too hard. And I can do that. I can play the 3 reed for you on this mouthpiece so you can hear it. My advice to you when you're trying mouthpieces, if you find one that you really, really like, or it's sort of borderline and you're not sure if you like it, try a different reed strength. So if that mouthpiece is a little too hard for you, try a softer reed mouthpiece. If that reed is a little too hard for you and the mouthpiece therefore feels like it's a little too hard for you, try the softer reed. And that goes for vice versa. So if you're trying a mouthpiece and you love it, but it's way too free blowing for you, go up a 1/2 strength or a 1/4 strength for your reed and see if that makes a difference. So this is a 3 D'Addario Reserve. I'm going to try it on the CG. What's up, gaming world? And I love it when gaming channels come to my live streams and my videos, because as a quite amateur gamer myself, it always cracks me up. I'm still waiting to hear a Toon Blast or see a Toon Blast handle or Plants vs. Zombies. So this is the D'Addario Reserve 3 reed, and I'm going to play it on the CG for you so that you can hear what this mouthpiece sounds like with a 3 reed, and then I'm going to bump it down to the 2.5 reed. I have to wet it a little bit. It's a little different than a Ligature. That was what was nice about those live streams. I didn't have to wet those reeds the same way. All right, so I'm putting on my ligature now. When you're trying mouthpieces, if you have an option to use a soft ligature, please do so, because that will also help prevent any scratching or damage to the mouthpiece when you're trying it. All right, here we go. Oh, there's another one. There's another gaming handle. I'm seeing Minecraft for the win. I do love Minecraft. Listen, I'll tell you all a Minecraft secret while I'm getting this read on here and everything lined up. And please go ahead and comment on what I'm about to say. I sure did mine diamond blocks with a stone pickaxe, friends. It was great. It was my first time finding diamonds, and I mined them with a stone pickaxe. Please tell Tim what I just said and explain it, because he does not know what I am talking about here. All right, so I have a little trouble getting this reed and ligature lined up, and I want to make sure it's just right for when I play. All right, here we go. So this is the Backun and Hawkins Vocalise CG bass clarinet mouthpiece. I did it. All right, so I love the sound I'm getting with this mouthpiece. It's beautiful and it's dark and it's rounded. It's not too spread, but it's very difficult for me to play. So I'm going to now try a reed that's a little bit softer and see if that salvages this mouthpiece situation. I don't want to just, toss out the idea of this beautiful, dark, rounded sound because it's too hard to play without double checking my reed strength. So I'm going to try the 2.5 and see if that makes a difference. And yes, I am a professional clarinetist playing a 2.5 reed. So don't let that whole reed strength business determine your value as a clarinet player, friends. All right, so this is a 2.5 to Dario Reserve, and we're gonna hear if there's a difference in this mouthpiece, and I'll explain to you if I feel any difference in it when I play, because you want that mouthpiece and that reed to work for you. So what I'm liking about it is just by going down that half strength, I'm still getting that beautiful, dark sound. Did somebody just ask me to do a Mandalorian video for newer clarinet players? I do have a Mandalorian video. All right, so I'm getting that dark sound that I really, really like, but it's much easier to play. So my suggestion when you're trying mouthpieces, for those of you that are just joining us, have a couple reed strengths available for you to try. All right, now, let's get into it. I've got 4 mouthpieces to try today. I have the G, I have the H, I have the R. I feel like we're about to do cheers. Give me an H, give me a G, give me a C, G. Anyway, so I have these 4 mouthpieces and I need to compare them all and get a good idea of which one is going to work best for me. We are all different clarinet players. We all have different heads. We have all different oral cavities and mouths and things like that. So you're going to want to find the mouthpiece that works best for you. It might be totally different than the person sitting next to you. So we're going to want to keep this nice and simple. I'm going to do that F major scale again. And now I'm going to tongue it going down. Now I'm going to just do a little chromatic going up to the high G. Just to get a feel for what it's like going up into the Altissimo range. So those are the 3 areas that I want to check. I want to check all the ranges of the clarinet, I want to check my Altissimo, and I want to check the articulations. I'm listening for a beautiful sound. I'm going to be listening for good intonation. I want this mouthpiece not to sag in the throat tones. I want to have consistent intonation and sound all the way through. All right, so that is the CG. I'm going to go ahead and take this ligature off first so that I don't scratch the mouthpiece. And then I'm going to put the mouthpiece safely over here on my desk, and we're going to have another very quick untubing, detubing, unboxing, taking a mouthpiece out of a tube. And we've got our beautiful velvet bag. It's so lovely. And I'm pulling out, which mouthpiece is this? This is the G. So this has been my favorite mouthpiece so far. And this one actually works really nicely for that 3 reed with me. Nope, with the 3 reed for me. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on here. And since I liked the 3 reed on this mouthpiece earlier this week, I'm going to try the 3 reed again. All right, here's my 2.5, here's my 3, and here's my ligature. I like to put my ligature on first and then put my reed on. That way I don't have to worry about shipping my reed when I put my ligature on. All right, and then of course I have to lay my entire bass clarinet across my lap whenever I'm adjusting a reed. It's real fun for people sitting next to me. I've stabbed plenty of poor soul with my peg. Anybody else do that too? I can't see it when I have the bass right above my head like that. All right, lining up my ligature now. This is the G, Backun, Hawkins, Vocalise Mouthpiece. Same thing. We're going to start with that slurred F major scale. Whoop, and get this lined up better. So I like this big ringing sound that I'm getting in here. I'm just rotating this mouthpiece a little bit better. It's very hard for me to pick one of these mouthpieces because I like that darker sound that I'm getting in the CG, but I also like this big ring in here. It's like 2 different ones. Can you hold up the bass clarinet so we can see how big it is? Yes, I can do that, absolutely. All right, I'm gonna do that slurred F major scale going up and then our tongue going down. So once again, I'm listening for good articulations. I want them to respond quickly and I want them to be clean and clear without any grunts in there. Let's hear the Altissimo. All right, so this was much easier for me, Katina, to play up into the Altissimo. It was ringing and beautiful, very, very easy to go back and forth from the C to C sharp, which can be very difficult on a B flat clarinet and extra difficult on a bass clarinet. So I really, really like that. One more tonguing going down, and this time I'm gonna do some triplets. Aw, Minecraft for the win. Thank you for saying my channel is so good. In order for me to hold this bass clarinet up so you can see the whole thing, I'm gonna have to back up. And I don't have much room in here, but comparative to me, it's like this big, this big. I'm trying to hold it sideways. There we go. It's nice and big. I have a B flat here if you want to compare. There we go. So that's the bass compared to the B flat. It's a big instrument. I feel very strong and muscly, able to hold this bass clarinet sideways like that. All right, we're going to try another mouthpiece here. This is the H. I'm going to go ahead and once again take it out of its tube. I'm going to attempt to take it out of the tube. It's in its beautiful velvet bag. I do love a velvet bag. They're so pretty. You could put all sorts of things in here when you get your mouthpiece and then you don't want to keep it in there. All right, I'm going to bring it a little bit closer. Do you get every Vocalise mouthpiece models? Did I have all 4 of them to try? Yes. So this is the H, and I am going to try the softer reed for this one. So when I played the G, I played a 3 reed, and that's the normal reed for me. And then when I tried the CG, I did do the 2.5. So when you try these mouthpieces, if you end up trying some of these mouthpieces, I would suggest maybe exploring trying different reed strengths for them to find the one that works the best for you. So I'm going to put that carefully over here, and then I'm going to go ahead and put on the H right here. I'm going to swing it around so I can line it up a little bit better. What other instruments do I play? I play the clarinet, and I play the bass clarinet, and I play the E flat clarinet, and I play the alto clarinet, and I play the ukulele very, very badly. I have a ukulele here because I'd like to say it's so that I can learn it so I can, you know, play the ukulele around the campfire, but really what I'm doing is trying to keep myself humble. I mean, I think it's a great way to be a teacher, to learn how to play an instrument from scratch that you're quite terrible at. It will help you have more sympathy for people that are struggling with the clarinet. And then you can be like, you know what, I am so bad at the ukulele, how am I going to problem solve this? How am I going to fix this? How am I going to find a teacher that works for me, kind of thing? And that helps me as a clarinet teacher too. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, so 501 Star Wars Nerd 2, which by the way, I can't take that as my name now because you got it, and that's an amazing one. How all clarinet players feel when we play the bass. It's the big boy, it is. Unless you've played the contra, which is really fun to play, or the contrabass. All right, every time I swear that I adjust this mouthpiece and I get it ready to go, oh, my reed moves. All right, I can do this, folks. It just means you have to listen to me ramble on. All right, Christian says, I've learned 4 different instruments and been self-taught on 3 of 4. You know, it really is interesting to me how well people teach themselves. Just look up guitar players. Look up the top 100 guitar players and see how many are self-taught in there. And self-taught doesn't mean you completely learn all by yourself in your bedroom, right? Just picking. It means you're jamming with friends. It means you're finding people to play with. It means you're finding resources like YouTube and teaching yourself. Now, obviously, I'm going to recommend getting a teacher if you can, but there are ways to learn too. All right, H. Sorry, everybody. Bass clarinet squeak. You got to have at least 3 of them. All right, so I'm a little bit frustrated with Backun, Hawkins, Vocalise Mouthpieces here, because just like last time when I said that each live stream I did, I picked a different favorite one, here I am again. So last night I was leaning towards the R, or 2 days ago I was leaning towards the R. Now I love the H. So that was a big ringing sound that happened in there. Listen for that again. It is beautiful. There's that nice, rich, reedy bass clarinet sound going on. I also feel like I have more control with this mouthpiece, that I can manipulate the tone and the sound quality and color, which I really like. I play all sorts of different styles of music, so I don't necessarily want to be boxed into one sort of dark classical music sound in there. And I really like this one. It's going to project very, very nicely. It's very easy to articulate on, and it's very smooth going up and down over the breaks. So that nice and easy going up and down over the break. Let's hear what it sounds like going to the Altissimo. So once again, very, very easy to play over the break into the Altissimo. As I said before, that is challenging. And I am not using the best fingerings for that. I like to stay consistent with my fingerings that my students are using in band. Some of these alternative fingerings for the bass clarinet are hard, and they're a little bit challenging to get to or get to other notes. So for instance, when you're playing high C on the bass, the side F sharp right in here is a much better C sharp, but then it makes it hard to get to this D if that's the one you want to do, or the open G, overblown D on the bass is a great high D, but it doesn't work for some people. You really have to have the voicing right to get that to work. So I was using C to C sharp right here, which is a very difficult transition. That's a stuffy note. It's hard to play, but not with this mouthpiece. Very, very easy to do. So crossing over those register breaks is something that I feel like we should pay more attention to with younger players and newer players and as teachers, because that's challenging. So if you're going to get a mouthpiece, make sure that works for you too, or works for your student if that's something that's been giving them some trouble. All right, I just want to double check these articulations. So I'm going to do those repeated triplets on the way down. this one with this. Which reed am I on for this one? Did I say that was the 2.5? I'm really, really happy with this mouthpiece. So that's the H. It has a beautiful, consistent sound all the way through. Now remember, like I said, that when you're trying mouthpieces and you want to pick the one that works for you, and it's going to be different than the one that works for me, and I was talking about all the technical aspects of how your embouchure is and your voicing is and your whole skull and cap, you know, and your instrument, but it's also your sound. What sound do you want? What is your concept of sound? What are you going for? What is the style of music that you play? I get a lot of people on Instagram that follow me and comment that play in the Middle East. They play G clarinets. So they have a totally different concept of sound. So therefore they're looking for different things with their instruments and their mouthpieces and their reeds and their ligatures. So always, always, always try a bunch to find the right one for you. All right, that was the H. I'm going to put that in my favorite section, which already has 3 mouthpieces or 2 mouthpieces in it. So it is getting kind of ridiculous. All right, now one last mouthpiece to try. And this is the R. This is the one I liked last time when I went from a 3 to a 2.5 reed with the Ligature European cut. I am very curious to see how I will like it with a cane reed. So I'm going to untwist this tube here, and I'm going to take the little pouch out that makes me so happy. All right, here we go. And I'll keep it up here so that you can see what's happening. And there it is. Beautiful mouthpiece. So this is pressurized rubber. These are very, very well made. Then you see the little Vocalise up there. And then right there is our R. Okay, so please help me out. I think, Tim, that this is the one that was that Richard Hawkins recommended for band programs. And I definitely could hear that last time when I was playing it, because it was easy to play, and there are certain things that I am listening for as a teacher, and one of those is being able to play over the breaks like that, playing up high and having nice, clean, consistent articulations. So that is what I noticed with this one too, more than the other ones. I'm curious to see how a cane reed is going to work out on this mouthpiece. All right, well, I'm getting this lined up. Let me see if I can answer some other questions. I like the person that said, it looks like, oh, it says my name, and then that's your actual YouTube channel name, and then it says that's a ton of clarinetta, but it looks like you said my name is that's a ton of clarinets, which is also a great band name. All right, here we go. Joel's here. Hi, Joel. Thank you for coming. Will you help me out with some of the questions that we've received, and then some of my own forgetfulness. So tell us a little bit about the CG mouthpiece. What is that made of? I know it's a proprietary synthetic, but it's beautiful and clear. And then the difference with the mouthpieces that are the black mouthpieces, which are the hard rubber mouthpieces. And Tim already put the price of these mouthpieces in the chat, which I'm still struggling with because I don't think it's real. I'm so scared that I'm going to say this mouthpiece is $199 and somebody from Backun or Eastman is going to come back and be like, Katina, you fool, it's $299, because this mouthpiece is an excellent mouthpiece and the price is so good. Please find a mouthpiece of this quality on the market today that is that price and tell me about it, because I can't, and I looked. So that price is so good. All right, this, what did I say this one is? The R. All right, here we go. Starting down low on that F. Wow, you guys, you're making this very difficult for me because I already liked the H, and I liked the CG, and I like the G, and now I like the R. So I liked the R 2 days ago. My first one I loved was the G, but now I think I like the R and the H the best today. All right, we need to play up into the Altissimo and see how that goes, see how it sounds and how it feels. So for me, what is that? Is that my third squeak? Have I hit my allotment of squeaks for this live stream? I squeaked up there because I was biting a little bit. And that's an old habit because I had to bite to get those notes out on my last mouthpiece, but I don't need to bite to get them out on this mouthpiece. So that's one of the other tricky parts of trying a mouthpiece. So if you can have a trial that's more than just, 10, 20 minutes at a clarinet day or your local shop, if you're allowed to have it for a couple days or a week or so, you'll get used to the nuances of that mouthpiece. So I'm going to be very, very brave and I'm not going to bite. And let's see how those high notes work for me this time. Nice, very, very beautiful, and it's easy to control them. And one of the things, once again, is that I can play back and forth over the break, and it's very smooth and fluid, and I'm not doing a lot of manipulation with my tongue position in there. Enclave Brave says, does taking a breath before playing a lot of eighth notes help play faster? Well, I needed to breathe, and you do need to have a lot of air to be able to play fast. So yes, but really I found the best way to play faster is to keep that air moving and have that tongue right up by the reed, and the reed is vibrating because you are supporting and driving that air through the clarinet and letting your tongue bounce off that reed. So think more legato when you're playing fast, legato tongue. I love that rich sound I'm getting in the bottom, and it's a little bit bright for me going over the break, and it's a little bit hard to control this reed. So this would be one of the mouthpieces that I would like to try with that harder reed. So if I can find that 3 reed, let's see if I can play that on here and see if that helps me control this one a little bit better. So I'm moving back to my 3 reed, and then, oh, bye Minecraft for the win. Tim, did they explain to you decently so that you knew what was happening when I mined the diamonds with the stone pickaxe? Joel, you missed that. I don't know if your kids play Minecraft, Joel, but mine do, and I started playing with them. All right, here we go. I'm trying now the R with a little bit harder reed, seeing how that sounds. Wow. So to me, I'm not sacrificing the sound by going up a strength with that reed on this R mouthpiece. It sounds really, really good. Caleb, you got your shout out. Hi, Caleb. Everybody say hi to Caleb. So this reed is now the 3 reed on the R, and it sounds really, really good. And once again, I like a nice, big, reedy bass clarinet sound. I want the bass clarinet to project. I play in a lot of bands and a lot of clarinet choir. So when you play the bass clarinet and ensembles like that, especially clarinet choir, you need a nice, big sound with nice, clean, clear articulations. All right, I am going to try that H mouthpiece that I really, really liked, and I'm going to try that 3 reed on here. For those of you just joining us, what I'm doing is trying all 4 Backun, Hawkins, Vocalise bass clarinet mouthpieces, but I'm also trying different reed strengths on them to find the best combination for me. So this is a D'Addario Reserve 2.5. Nope, I want to try the 3. No, I want to not drop my 3 on the floor. It's just me. Don't tell anybody. 5-second rule. So I'm trying the 3 on the Vocalise H mouthpiece. I had tried it with the 2.5, so let's see how the H goes. Oh, I hit my stand. All right. Any of you have any more questions about these mouthpieces, please put them in the chat. If I can't answer them, Tim or Joel can. And just so you know, if you haven't registered already, you have a chance to register to win one of these mouthpieces. I put the link in the description. So thank you so much, Backun and Eastman, for generously donating mouthpieces to be given away to people. And yeah, rest in peace, Reed. So thank you so much. That's really, really generous. And if you are the winner, you've got to play it and tag me in it so that I can hear you and see it. All right, let's try this one, starting nice and low with the 3 reed. So it's a little bit hard for me, so there's a little bit of stuffiness in there, but I'm liking the consistency up into the clarion range, so it's a little bit more condensed and it's a little more covered, so it's not getting away from me. But it's too stuffy in the throat tones. Let's see how it feels and sounds going down low. Yeah, so the H I would stick with the 2.5, and then the R I would go back to the 3, and the G I would use the 3, and then the C, G was great on the 2.5. So all of these mouthpieces have a lot of differences though. So they all feel a little bit differently to me, and you can hear it in the video. Some have a brighter sound, some have a darker sound, some sound a little bit bigger and richer in the lower range, and then a little more covered in the lower range, and then you can flip that. So some of them that are sounding really nice and rich in the lower range are a little bit brighter than what I personally like in the upper range. That's why you've got to try them. And like I said, everybody's different, but I would like to commend Backun, Eastman, and Hawkins on having 4 mouthpieces to try. A lot of times it's just one, right? So a company will put out one bass clarinet mouthpiece or maybe just a couple. So now we've got 4 that we can work with this incredible price point for buying them. So thank you so much for making these more accessible to people, to band programs, clarinet players of all walks of life. I just wanted to note that because it was really, really impressive to me. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching the live streams. If you have any questions and you're watching this later or you didn't get a chance to ask it, go ahead and ask me in one of the comment sections of one of my videos. If I can't answer it, I will try and find the person that can. Also, reach out to Backun and Eastman. They are great about answering questions and supporting you. So if you have anything that you want to know from them, please ask them. Don't forget to register for a chance to win one. And when you do, tag me, the Clarinet Project, and Backun so that we can hear you and see your mouthpiece. I'm just peeking to see if we have anything else. Did I try the Z mouthpiece? I didn't have a Z mouthpiece. I only had G, R, C, G, and H. Thank you everybody for coming, and happy clarinetting. Bye.